What's going on, everybody? My name is Daniel. I am the admin of all those JazzNation. Oh my gosh, what an introduction! Let's try that again. Take two. What's going on, everybody? My name is Daniel. I am the admin of all those Jazz Nation pages that you are following online through TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the YouTube, the Patreon, the podcast pages. I think there's a MySpace page. Who knows? But you can find the links for all those pages in one simple spot. Just go to linktree.com/Jazz Nation News. What's up? Welcome into today's edition of Jazz Nation Daily for Tuesday, June the 20th. Man, I was planning on doing this like early this morning, and I'm glad I didn't because there's quite a lot of news that broke today. It came out today. So let's get everyone caught up with the news, shall we? I guess, let's just go right at the bat. The biggest news of the day, of course, came out a couple hours ago. Ryan Smith released a video, and the Utah Jazz released the whole statement saying it's official. Jazz games for next season will be available locally in the Salt Lake area, Utah. Well, Utah. I'm not sure how far out it's going to reach. But locally here in the Utah area, we're going to be able to watch Jazz games on KJazz, which is a local TV station here in Utah. And that means you can watch the games free if you want to get the old antenna ears. Most of us have the, flat screen TVs and stuff, and you can get an antenna for those things pretty cheap anymore. I've actually had one on my TV for the longest time because back in the day before I was rich enough, if you could say, to afford the Sunday ticket, I would just have rabbit ears so I could watch the football games that were on, Fox and things like that. But there's actually quite a few channels, quite a bit of channels on there that you can get for free. It's a good investment to have. I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of those channels, but it's just cool to have them there. It doesn't hurt. But anyways, it's great. Jazz games are going to be free for us locally. Do not fear for those of you out of state. They're going to have a subscription kind of thing going on. There wasn't a whole lot of details yet on that. I think they're still working on that. I think they're going to run into some issues. I mean, Andy Larson was saying on Twitter that he thinks, the Jazz obviously want to get the subscription out as far as they can to people outside the state. Problem they're probably going to run into is that the NBA has their own subscription thing. Well, not subscription thing, but they have the NBA League Pass, and they want folks outside of Utah to pay for that. So they're probably going to run into a little trouble with that, but for us folks here locally, it's awesome news. Thanks so much to Ryan Smith and the gang for getting that up and going. Other news going on outside the Jazz bubble, and some news today. Gary Trent Jr. of the Raptors decided to opt in, so he's going to stay with the Raptors. Apparently, they might be working on a new deal, and he's going to possibly stay there. I'm a little disappointed in that. I was kind of hoping that he was going to hit free agency and Jazz could possibly bring him on board. I've always liked his game, but it looks like that ain't happening. And other free agency type news, Kyle Kuzma has decided to officially opt out of his contract, so he will be an unrestricted free agent this offseason. So I know there's a lot of fans locally here in Utah that would like to see him come to the Jazz. And then, just like every player, though, I think everybody can see the good for a player and the bad. So Kuzma's definitely, I think, he could be an interesting fit for the Jazz, depending on the contract, of course, and things like that. Other news, obviously, it's draft week. The NBA draft is coming up this Thursday, and there's a lot of cool mocks that came out today. So ESPN, Draft Express dude released his, I don't know if it's his final mock, but released a mock today, and I gotta tell you, this mock was a home run, I said, for the Jazz on Twitter. So they have Cam Whitmore falling to the Jazz at 9th. That's crazy to me. Cam Whitmore is my number one guy for the Jazz, for me personally. On my realistic draft board for the Jazz, I've always had Cam Whitmore number 1. But they're saying that he could fall to number 9. Now, they're saying apparently he didn't have such a good workout for the Pistons, and that's the reason for him falling down. Conspiracy Daniel over here says, maybe he didn't want to play for the Pistons, so he blew that workout. I mean, if I was a kid coming out of college and there's like, yeah, I'm going to go work out for the Pistons, and there's some teams down there, the better teams, Pacers, Jazz, whatever, might want to try and fall. I don't know. I'm just getting my hopes up. Anyways, getting back to this mock draft. This will make a lot of you folks that are happy too. In the mock draft at 16, they have Bala Coulibaly, the French dude. I don't know why you go in that accent. It's not French accent, but anyways, they have him going to 16. I don't see that happening either. That's crazy to me. I think he goes much higher than that. And the 28th pick, they have Maxwell Lewis. Now, in another mock draft that came out today from the Ringer, they also had Cam Whitmore falling to the Jazz at number 9. Crazy. But here's where things get much better for me. They had Case and Wallace falling to the Jazz at 16, and then also Jariq Whitehead going to the Jazz at 28. This mock draft is what I call a grand slam. If the Jazz were able to land those three guys, that would be an amazing draft for the Jazz. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's see. I should probably make sure I'm on the comments if anyone's on there. If you're watching this on the live stream right now on Facebook, Twitter, or the YouTube page, leave me comments. Let me know what you guys think about these mock drafts. Are you impressed by them? I know I certainly am. I would love for that. Another thing that came out today is the Jazz are apparently possibly looking to move the 28th pick. Apparently, they have had talks with maybe the Denver Nuggets. I guess the Nuggets are looking to get back. I guess the Nuggets don't have a first-round pick this year, so they're looking to get into the first round. And so I think that's just where that's coming up. And the Jazz, there's been a lot of talk. I know I've said it a few times that I don't think the Jazz are going to keep that 28th pick. And there's been a lot of talk about the Jazz, looking to possibly move it because they could use a first-round pick for next year, because next year's first-round pick for the Jazz is technically owed to the Thunder, but it is top 10 protected. So I could definitely see them using that 20th pick, trying to get it back into the draft next year, or maybe to help them move up this year. I just personally, my gut says the Jazz are not going to draft at 28. So either that means they use it to move up, or they use it to get them for the future. And they love those assets. So who knows? Other news that came out today, Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports wrote an article, some new updates about trades and draft stuff. He is saying that the Jazz have contacted the Pistons about the 5th pick and the Pacers about the 7th pick and are interested in moving up, and that Anthony Black is a target for them. Also mentioned the Jazz the Jazz have spoken with the Magic about the 6th pick. He says Utah has made Colin Sexton available in trades as well. That's a little surprising to me, because I guess it's only surprising, I guess, because that's the first time we've heard it. But if you think about the Jazz and possibly doing trades, what they have available as far as players or trades kind of limited. I mean, it's really like a Kelly Olynyk or Colin Sexton, because they're not trading Lauri Markkanen or Walker Kessler. Maybe Ochai could be available, but I guess it would have to be a really good trade. But that just surprised me, because that's the first time I've seen Colin Sexton's name come up as far as trade possibility there. So keep an eye on that. I mean, if the Jazz are looking to move up, and if it's true that they're high on Anthony Black, which I personally do think the Jazz are high on Anthony Black, and the reason for that is there's kind of an old saying with the NBA drafts: keep an eye on who the team spoke with last or worked out last. That's typically a hint to who they might be interested in as far as the draft goes. The Jazz spoke with Anthony Black and had interviews with him during the combine. It came out and was reported. And then their last pre-draft workout, as far as we know, but he was in town in Salt Lake City last week, like Thursday, Friday, was Anthony Black. So, I mean, that's telling me that's a pretty good sign that they're interested in the guy. But I do not think Anthony Black will be available to them at 9th. So if they do truly want him, they're going to have to move up probably for that. So, of course, it would make total sense that they would ask about the 5th pick, the 7th pick, and the 6th pick of those teams. I don't think the Washington Wizards are going to make that available with the Jazz. It just doesn't make sense to move up one spot like that. So, I got to tell you, this feels like one of those drafts where it's just, there's so much drama that's possible. It's just so interesting, right? I feel like usually when there's like a day before, 2 days before the draft, we have a pretty good feeling where players are going to go and things like that. Obviously, there's always surprises. But this draft, besides the first pick, right? I mean, be honest, the first pick, we know who it is. But the second pick, do you really know? I mean, do we? It feels like 1 minute the odds are saying it's Scoot, next minute it's Brandon Miller. It's just crazy. Who knows? And all these possibilities of trades that could go on. It's so exciting as a basketball fan, and especially for us Jazz fans, it's very exciting. Also, other Jazz news that happened today was breaking news, but we kind of knew this was coming. Damian Jones has opted into his contract and will remain with the Utah Jazz. Of course, we keep wondering and waiting. It's got to happen in the next week or so, but about Taylor Horton Tucker, if he's going to opt in or out. And then, of course, Jordan Clarkson, if he will be opting in or out, most likely will be opting out. So we shall see about that. And then the other news that came out today, it became official that the Utah Jazz will be hosting their draft party this Thursday at Vivint Arena / Delta Center. Technically, now I know a lot of people got mad at me when it was about the Vivint Arena. Technically, the old technically, you got to be official and things. Technically, it's still Vivint Arena until July 1st. Technically. So, technically, this will be the final event at the Vivint Arena. Although, of course, all Jazz fans aren't having it, and they're already calling it Delta Center, which is totally fair. I mean, they've already have all the signage up on the arena saying Delta Center. So, but just let you know, don't kill the messenger. But anyways, yeah. So, if you're in town locally and you can make it, it's a free event Thursday at the arena. Let's call it the arena for now. Doors open at 5 p.m. The draft actually starts at 6 p.m. They are offering free J Dogs, aka hot dogs. They're good hot dogs, though. And Coke products for the first 10,000 fans. Jazz Bear and the Jazz Dancers will be there. That's exciting news. Of course, Mr. Daniel, Jazz Nation admin, will not be in town for that. I'm kind of all over the place today because I'm trying to get all the the Jazz Nation stuff done, and then also prepare because I'm flying out to go to San Jose in the morning. So me and my wife are heading out to San Jose, California to go to a concert. We're seeing Blink 182 on Thursday. Very excited about that. Terrible coincidence that when I bought those tickets and stuff, I had no idea that it would be draft day, but it is what it is. I've gone over this a million times. But do not fear. The assistant to the host, Will Wonder, will be doing a live stream on Thursday for you Jazz Nation folks. So you can watch the draft with him. He'll be having other Jazz fans on there to be talking about it. Starts at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern, or 5 p.m. California time for me because I'll be in California then. So you can live stream it on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You'll be able to chat with him. There's possibilities if you're interested, and maybe he can send you a link and you can actually join the broadcast with him. But it's going to be an awesome experience. The event's going to be called D&D, Draft and Drinks, or backwards Drinks and Draft. You can drink whatever you'd like and chat it up about the draft with them. It's just a cool event that we're trying to do. Obviously, we thought of this before the draft party at the arena, and then there's other draft parties that are now going on, but ours will be better. If you're home, if you're out of state, this is a way for you to join other Jazz fans and chat with them about what's going on in the draft. Other news that's going on today, the Walker Kessler interview. I've talked about the Walker Kessler interview that we did and has been available on our Patreon page. Well, if you didn't want to go on the Patreon page and subscribe and do that, boo, shame on you. You should help support us. But if you're waiting for the free version is now available. You can find it on our podcast platforms like Spotify, Apple, Google, and Anchor FM. You can also find the video version on our YouTube page. The links for all the podcasts on the YouTube page, just go to linktree.com/Jazz Nation News. Or if you just search for Jazz Nation, I'm sure you'll find us. It has our logo on there. Let's see, which way am I pointing? No, let's point it this way too. No, that's not it. Let's point this way. There we go. It has our purple and blue, the mountain logo on our pages. So if you see that, that's our page. That's our podcast. That's our YouTube page. So go to that one. Man, we're getting so close to the draft day. It's so exciting. So as I've already said, I'm high on Cam Whitmore for the Jazz. If he falls to him at 9, that's going to be so awesome. For the longest time, I wasn't so sold on Anthony Black, but I got to tell you, I'm kind of coming around on him, mostly because I've been listening to so many podcasts and YouTube videos and stuff from the experts that are saying in his workouts and interviews and things like that Anthony Black has just been doing so good, and his shooting is looking so much better. So apparently he's been working his tail off on getting that shooting better. So I'm coming around on Anthony Black. I would majorly take Anthony Black over the French guy. I am so not into the French guy as a top 10 pick. I've said that before, and I'll say it a million times. If the Jazz want Bilal Coulibaly, however you say it, the French guy, then take him in like the 12 to 16 range. I'm cool. I'm fine with that because that's your experiment range. Top 10 pick, please do not do that. Oh man, I'll be so disappointed if they pick him in the top 10 pick. Another thing I'd be really disappointed in is Kobe Buffkin as a top 10 pick. There is so much hype going around him, and I don't know why. As a top 10 pick, I don't get it, but maybe I'm missing something. We'll see. This is what's so fun about the draft. There are guys that, like, 2 weeks ago we're in like the late 20s, like a Kobe Buffkin, and all of a sudden we're days, and now he's like a top 10. It is insane. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who's your top three guys for the Jazz right now on your draft board? If you're watching the live stream, leave me a comment. Let me know real quick. What are your thoughts on Cam Whitmore? For me, I would go like this. If we're going in the guard area, I still believe personally that whoever is available for the Jazz at 9 is the best player. I don't care what position he's plays, the best player available. You take that. You do not pass up if Therese Walker was somehow able to slip to 9, you don't pass on him because you're like, well, we need a guard because there's plenty of guards in the teens. If Cam Whitmore is available at 9, boy, you better take him and not be like, well, we need a guard. There will be guards available in the teens. Just worry about that. I'm very high, like I said, on Cam Whitmore. I'm very high on Cason Wallace. Kobe Buffkin, I'm cool with him in the teenish range, but not as a 9th pick. Other guards that I've been into, Jalen Hood-Schifino. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm digging his game. He could be fun there at 16. Again, I have not watched much of the picks that are in the 20th pick because I just do not think that the Jazz are going to be there for that. So I'm sorry, I just haven't cared that much about that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it last chance? Is anyone watching right now? YouTube page, or if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking of the draft. Are you excited for it? Do you think there's going to be any trades? I did a podcast earlier with my assistant to the host, Will Wonder, that will be available tomorrow. And he's an Orlando Magic fan. And, he does believe there could be a good possibility that the Jazz and the Magic do a trade. So, the Magic are looking to get better for next season. I think they're tired of just being a lottery team and not making the playoffs. They're ready to finally get into a playoff contender team. So in order to do that, they've got the 6th and the 11th pick, I believe. And so, they could make some moves. If the Jazz are wanting to move to that 6th pick, the Jazz could always offer them maybe a player like Kelly Olynyk, and obviously and giving them the 9th pick, and then a future first round protected pick or something. But the Jazz are going to have so many options to move up, and I'm just so excited. I know a lot of you are excited. So there's been so much news today. It's awesome to hear about the TV deal. It's awesome to hear about Damon Jones staying. For me, it's awesome to hear the possibility that Cam Whitmore might fall to 9. I hope you guys are excited for the draft again. Just so you guys know, sorry if I moved the microphone there, made some noise. Tomorrow's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, there will be no JazzNation Daily. Sorry, folks, I'm going to be out of town. I'm just going to enjoy my vacation as much as I can. I also, draft day, I'm going to be doing plenty of keeping an eye on the phone. So I can't have my wife kill me if I'm on the phone too much. So none of that then. But again, join Will Wonder on the Jazz Nation pages on Thursday, starting at 6 p.m. for the draft. He'll be live streaming. You can watch it with him and chat with him through the whole draft experience, and let him know. There'll be other Jazz fans on there, so you can chat with them as well. So that's it for today, guys. I'm signing off. Thanks so much for following all the Jazz Nation pages, the podcast. Oh, one more time, let me remind you, the free version of the Walker Kessler interview is now available. I'm telling you guys, this Walker Kessler interview is so good. You need to give it a try. Available on our YouTube page and all our podcasts. Again, the links for everything can be found in one spot. Just go to linktree.com/JazzNationNews. If that is too hard for you to remember, just Google Linktree Jazz Nation. I guarantee you'll find it there. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the draft. This is the last time you're going to hear from me. There will be a podcast tomorrow. Check that out. And thanks so much for following the Jazz Nation pages. Have a great day, everybody, and bye-bye.